What's going on, guys? Coach Key here, and it is cold. Well, it's California cold, so you see me nice and bundled up. Don't judge me. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about, as a taller fighter, what should you be doing fighting against a shorter fighter, right? Now, all of these things you can do with a partner, or you can do it just during shadow boxing. But you have to be able to do these things to be successful in fighting a shorter fighter. Now, shorter fighters, the majority of the coaches are going to tell them, you need to get inside. You need to move your head. You need to have quick feet. You need to get inside. Taller fighter, your job is to keep them outside. So how do you do that? Number one, you need a good jab. Actually, you need a good 1-2. You need a good jab and a good straight. Why? Because taller fighters, now this comes with the caveat, taller fighters usually have longer arms. Every now and then you get the freakishly long-armed shorter person, so your reach is about the same, but it still is to your advantage because they have a further way to travel to go upward to try to hit you. However, every now and then you run into one of those. But 9 times out of 10, if you're the taller fighter, you have longer reach. So guess what? When you're fighting a shorter fighter, you need to get real comfortable with utilizing this. Keep that jab out there. They trying to step in. Pow. Keep that jab. Pow. They're getting a little too close. Pow, pow. 1-2. Keep that jab out there. Pow, pow. Right? Jab, jab, jab. I tell everyone, if you're a taller fighter, you fighting the shorter fighter, spam the jab. I'm talking boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. 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 Boop, boop, boop. Anytime you stepping in, I'm putting it wherever your head is, right? You step to the side, bow, all right. You step to the side, bow, all right. You try to do that Mike Tyson stepping in, bow, 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 bow. And I'm shooting it wherever I see your head go. Now, what you can also do, take that same jab and shoot it downstairs, because the shorter person's usually dropping, slipping and dropping, right? So here's the thing. If I aim it downstairs as I'm moving, as I'm keeping them off of me, I'm guaranteed to hit something. And if I got a stiff jab, like Errol Spence in the Danny Garcia fight, that jab did a number on Danny Garcia's face, right? Errol Spence in the Mikey Garcia fight, that jab gave Mikey problems, right? If you got a nice, powerful jab, people are gonna think twice, because they're like, I ain't trying to get hit with that. So if you're here, even drop downstairs, bow. Bigger target, you're more inclined to hit something, right? So we're here, bow, get it out there. Sometimes it's a feeler, right? This is my rangefinder. Okay, I know if I'm here and I can barely reach him, he gonna have to do a lot to get in here. So, oh. Now, they'll tell you, oh, you can't stiff arm. Okay, this is how we do it. We paw, right? We move it. Oh. Oh. Right? If need be. But I'm gonna use this jab. I'm gonna use this one too. I'm gonna master that. Ho, 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 ho. Now, this leads me to number 2, because if you noticed, as I was jabbing, I was doing something. Feet. Specifically, you have to be able to fight off the back foot. Have to. Not only must you be able to fight off of your back foot, you also got to be able to have lateral movement. Why? Because a shorter person is coming forward. They're trying to get inside. Here's the thing. You can only do this so long. You can only go so far back. Eventually, you're going to hit the ropes. They got you right where they want you. Your job is to stay in this is the other one, stay in the center of the ring. Use your footwork and that jab to stay in the center of the ring. A perfect fight that I recall watching, Bivol versus Canelo. Even when Caleb Plant fought Canelo, even though he got knocked out, if you pay attention to what they did, they kept him at bay. The difference is Bivol actually won, but they kept him at bay. They kept circling. They would get their combinations off or throw their punches and circle. They were using their feet. They were using lateral movement. You can only do this for so long and so far, right? I believe my boy Dean, he said it's a 2-step rule. By the time you hit the 3rd step, you're probably on the ropes. He said 2 steps back, and by then you should be pivoting out, shuffling out, whatever it is. So you come here, you step back, Once you do about 2 steps, because most people kind of like pop out, right? So you go 2 steps, you need to be pivoting out, right? You do 2 steps, you need to be shuffling, right? You need to be circling. Get on your bike, right? Whoop. Get on your bike. Learn this right here. That will get you out of a lot of trouble, because let's say, boom, 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 I'm on the ropes. Oh, I can only go side to side now because I can't stay there. I'm trying to figure out, he's trying to get me in the corner. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to jab him till I can get back in the center and keep the center of the ring. That's what you're looking to do. Bivol, when he was fighting Canelo, he would drop back. He was great with this. He's because you know he has that Soviet style, so he's bouncing in and out. Pop, 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 right? Canelo would eventually get him on the ropes, shell up, boom, and he will pivot out, circle back around. You have to be able to do that. You got to have good feet. Now, another thing, you want to stand there and slug. I don't always recommend this. You got to be like Bud Crawford. He'll stand in the middle and fight with you. Another thing that you can do is what we call the half step. So let's say we're not inside, but we're about within range of one another. This half step is a beautiful technique for a counter, right? So let's say we're here. Let's say a lot of times they're throwing an overhand. Let's say they step in to throw an overhand, right? I'm southpaw, imagine somebody else is southpaw, because usually it's orthodox versus orthodox, right? You step in to throw the overhand, which is coming from this side. My lead hand would usually catch that. Boom, right? Now what I can do is, because I see that overhand coming, I'm going to take a half step back. So we're here, half step. I'm a taller fighter. I just got out of his range. That's the difference between getting hit or having to catch it and him just missing, right? Now, he throws the overhand. Most people throw the overhand like this, right? They're usually lunging in. Pitbull Cruz, shut up, Grizzly. Pitbull Cruz is really big on that, right? He'll step in, drop the head, right? I take a half step back. Boom, I'm out of range. Guess what? You're stuck because you leaned forward. Half step back, boom. Half step counters. Half step cross. Half step counters and pivot out. Boom, circle out, right? Or boom, circle out. Or boom, circle out. So, footwork, lateral movement, 1-2s, that half step counters. These are all the things that a taller fighter should be doing against a shorter fighter. Now, you being on that bicycle, you better have your little cardio, and you better have you a strong, stiff jab to make them respect it, because they're less inclined to commit. They may throw some feints, but they'll be less inclined to commit if you got something that stings. So that's all for today. Y'all let me know if I left anything out, and if there's any other content that you want me to talk about. Professional fights coming up, more boxing tips, health and fitness tips, drop them in the comments below. And if you like this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop more keys to boxing.